He got a line wrapped around his foot, which can be pretty dangerous.
You lose your leg.
Yeah, you can lose your legs.
We're the US SailGP team, and this is the breakdown with GQ.
Oh,
These are boats we all grew up sailing.
Yep.
So here there's a few different types of dinghies, of small boats. There's a 420, a 29er, and here these guys are sailing a 29er, Zac Efron.
Most professional sailing in general is all in boats that you race at the same time and same class.
Specifically here, yeah. These boats never sail against different types of boats. Like 420s always sail against 420s, 29ers always against 29ers. Yeah. But here they're racing together.
Which
they got wrong, and they also got wrong like which boat was supposed to win. So but Zac Efron had to win. So and 29ers are way harder to sail, so they wouldn't make him try to sail one.
Yeah,
so
he's a pretty boy.
Little trapeze action.
All right.
Oh, this is legit.
It's pretty sick. These are catamarans, so they're pretty similar to the ones that we sail. They're kind of more old school. This boat is doing what's called flying a hull. The catamaran has 2 hulls, and here they're flying 1 hull in the air, whereas we get up on hydrofoils and have 2 hulls in the air.
So we're like a meter above the water all the time.
And they're still in the water, technically.
We have these little wings underneath the water, and as soon as we hit a certain speed, they lift us out of the water. So you have just like a stick with a little wing underneath, and the rest of the boat's up in the air. It's basically
we are flying.
Yeah, we do call
you gotta
it
watch
flying.
it. You gotta come check it out.
So Rome's steering the boat, just like a normal boat, but he's also flying it, and it's just like being a pilot.
Basically, for these guys, it's all about sail trim. So you've got a mainsail and a jib, and if you have too much power, you tip over, and if you have just enough, you'll fly a hull perfectly, and if you don't have enough, your hulls will be in the water.
Yeah, they're flying a hull.
That guy sees it.
Oh man, that's
gotta use something, right?
That's too high there. You don't want to do that.
We've done that.
Yeah, it happens.
He's at the point where there's no more sail left to ease.
We call it righting moment. So basically, when you get all your weight to the windward side of the boat, to the high side, that's counteracting the sails. So yeah, you want as much weight as you can on the actual windward side, so you can actually trim your sails tighter.
So you can harness the power.
Yeah, exactly.
If you were crossing the boat and you tumbled, would you break ribs potentially?
Yeah.
Could that happen?
I think that did happen.
That did happen.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we almost put Dan off the boat last event, so.
But this guy did it on purpose.
He did that on purpose. We don't do it on purpose. We're trying to be a little more athletic and stay on our feet.
You don't really win with style points necessarily.
Yeah, style points don't get you anywhere.
This is not like realistic, right? They've modified this boat to look sensational for the movie.
Yeah.
Some boats have racks and all the guys will be out there, all 6 or 7 of them. And that gives you that leverage against the sails to get some speed. This one is like, well, so I didn't study film, but basically what they've done is they've put him really far outboard on his own, so he's in control, and it singles him out and makes him look like extra special because he's the main character, you know.
Whoop! See you later.
Oh man.
This can happen in the boats that we're sailing for sure.
Yeah.
And we can also go
We've done
over
it plenty.
the other way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Have you capsized like during a race before?
Yeah. I've capsized quite a few times. Expensive boats. In that situation, it's probably not that realistic because you don't ever just keep your sails pinned on until you capsize. But stuff happens, so yeah.
These boats capsize,
Yeah,
for sure.
they definitely capsize.
Yeah.
But if you're getting that much heel, you'd ease your sails.
Oh, she blows.
It looks really windy and the sail's going back and forth, but he's still moving forward.
This looks like they did it in a studio because you don't ever see that out in the ocean. When it downpours, if you're in like, say towards the equator and you get a rain squall, I mean, it comes down heavy, but not.
It doesn't actually look that windy. It looks like someone's just shaking the boom back and forth.
I think it's meant to be windy, but
yeah. The number one rule is don't fall off the boat. Don't get disconnected from the boat.
If you fall off offshore, you're in trouble.
Which has happened.
I mean, it's happened and guys have died. So in buoy racing with what we're doing, if you fall off, that's probably race over for us because by the time you get that guy back on board, the race is We have tethers because the boats are going so fast that if someone falls over, you've got 6 boats going 50 knots, which is like 60 miles an hour. If a human gets run over by a foil, it's certain death. Like it's pretty simple.
We have impact vest or body armor, and we have an air tank that we have with a regulator that's right near our face. So if we did end up capsized, upside down, or in the water, you'd have that air to get some recovery breaths and have a moment, mellow out, and then make your smooth escape.
That sort of like rip, how realistic is that?
It happens pretty often, actually. Oh, really? Yeah. We don't have that type of sail,
those
but
sails, though.
it happens often, yeah.
That's a 12-meter. Old and slow.
Yeah.
They do a pretty good job in wind, I think. I think they got real sailors to...
Yeah, they did.
To help
my dad
out.
was actually, my dad went and did the 1992 America's Cup instead of doing this movie.
So now they're replacing the ripped sail, right?
Yeah, just the standard PLA.
So
I mean,
that happens.
this one's pretty legit.
That was well executed.
And it's just the acting that's marginal. The sailing's all pretty good. I gotta be honest, I miss some of this old school sailing, you know?
Oh,
Like doing peels and sail changes.
Bad news bears.
yeah, so if we rewind a little bit, there's a foot, like a human foot. So he got a line wrapped around his foot, which can be pretty dangerous. Actually almost happened to me recently on a boat similar to this, on a TP52.
You lose your leg.
Yeah, you can lose your legs.
We're gonna get back in this goddamn race! Now! You trust me for what you pea-brain nincompoop!
Sheik! Put up the
Whopper!
whopper!
You're only allowed a certain number of sails, and they have to be a certain size, and they have to fit the rules. So
They all have to get approved and measured in, and they basically get stamped by the measurers. And I mean, this is the America's Cup, so they would have definitely had to measure their sails in.
an outside hoist, hoisting the new one outside the
Yeah, that was pretty
old
good,
one. That's
good
pretty
form.
marginal. They act like they accelerated by double the speed.
Yeah, no.
Nah?
Yeah, most likely, if they had a sail like that, some other team would have been spying on them and would have known that they had that, and probably would have built their version of the Whopper.
They seem to be pretty far away, and they caught up really quickly. So,
And
Who knows?
what's called the displacement boat. It displaces a lot of water. So when you put it in the water, it pushes water basically. Slow.
How pleasant is that?
Beer can racing. You have a few beers and you go around the race course.
Twilights. We can't have like a track like race cars would have because the wind changes every day and we go all these different places. So we put buoys in the water all over the harbor, and it's our course is to go around these buoys in a certain order. So that would be just one of their buoys. They probably have 3 or 4 other ones that they go around.
Joey, call it out! 10 boat lengths, Teddy. We gotta drop the spinnaker.
A spinnaker is this big balloon sail that just drags you downwind. On a slow boat, it makes you a little bit faster.
But if you don't get it down, you can't turn the mark. So then you sail extra distance, you got the spinnaker out of the back of the boat. It's a mess.
Not yet. Teddy, come on. We gotta duck these guys. Joey, this boat's been in my family longer than I have. If anyone knows how she handles, it's me.
Sailing at the end of the day. It's if you don't get your sails down and turn the mark, you're not going to win a race. So
And that's
it doesn't
a
matter
great
what
one.
kind of boat you're in.
I don't think knowing that boat was relevant to that
To that
certain
scene.
situation.
Yeah.
So.
Drop the spinnaker.
If somebody makes a call, if Rome makes a call, we all buy in and we commit to it fully. And like, you know, it'll always work out better with full commitment than it will if we fight about it. So.
We're tacking back round. Do me a favor. Ease the sheet. Swing the jib starboard. Okay.
Your right hand on starboard is forward. Your left hand on port is forward.
Watch the jib boom. Oh. All right, push it this way.
Yeah, she's good. We should get her on the team.
Yeah. Take your job, trimming.
Absolutely.
They tack or jive?
We're tacking back round.
They definitely said tack, but it looked like a jive.
Did look like a job.
That was a job. So tacking is if you're sailing upwind towards like into the wind. So what you do is you turn through the eye of the wind. And then jibing is like pretty much the same thing, but when you're going downwind with the wind. If you're going downwind, you obviously can't sail straight to a mark because the wind goes a certain direction. You've got to sail certain angles to get to the mark. So jibing is when you jibe through the breeze.
It's turning,
exactly.
Yep. This is like the boat I grew up on. It's the kind of boat you could sail by one person pretty easily, or you might sail with your family or with a couple of buddies. But a guy this age could definitely sail this boat alone if he's experienced.
Retired, doing his thing, cruising around the world.
This is all pretty realistic so far. You know, like if you're alone and you want to go to the top of the rig, you use a device like he's using. He's sitting in a bosun's seat, which is like an old school climbing harness. He has this block and tackle, or this rope purchase, that gives him like the advantage to be able to pull himself to the top of the rig, so that he doesn't just free climb, you know? He's an old dude, he's not gonna be able to free climb. So
I wouldn't free climb either.
Bit sunburnt, though.
Yeah, he needs to wear his sunscreen.
He's trying to fix some wind gear or something.
That's a VHF antenna right there. That's the connection. So he's obviously trying to communicate with, to get a rescue.
That's legit.
But he's disconnected, and the connector looks like fully corroded, so he hasn't got a lot of good luck on his side at the moment.
If you're cruising around the world, you'd want like a sat phone or something, right?
Satellite phone, VHF.
We've got comms on our boat. You know, we're going so fast and it's so noisy that we can't just talk to each other like we are right now. So in order for sitting next to each other, in order to hear each other, we have to be listening to like a full-on comm set. We've got headpieces.
So we have headpieces and microphones and all that.
Sailing is a pretty cool sport because you're not just one thing. Like you're not just driving the boat. Like you have to understand the technology you're using. You have to kind of be a jack of all trades as well as a master of one.
Most of the stuff, I mean, is pretty accurate. Obviously, they're missing some details. It's obviously for a Hollywood film. Maybe we've got a job. Sailing doesn't work out, we can go consult for Hollywood.
If you're getting bored watching the Hollywood version of sailing, come watch some serious sailing, June 21 and 22 in New York. Racing right on the Hudson River, some incredibly fast boats, and an American team to come support.